Social media, something we all know and mostly love. Well, new legislation has been proposed to prevent anyone who is a minor from using social media. Alyssa Hildenbrandt went across campus to find out what you thought about this.
That's right, Elijah. Republican Congressman Chris Stewart out of Utah is preparing new legislation to ban people under 16 years old from using social media. And I asked Furman students what they thought. Stewart previously stated that, quote, more than 40% of our young people aged 14 to 24 are diagnosed either with anxiety or depression, end quote. His connection was that these numbers have risen with the rise of social media platforms. In an interview with Glenn Mills, Stewart also mentioned that social media
has a direct tie to the anxiety, to the depression, and to the suicide that we're seeing among our youth.
So, I went around campus asking students what they thought about this legislation and if the government should have any say in this matter. Do you think that people under 16 years old should be able to use social media, and why?
I don't think they should be banned altogether, but I definitely think that children under 16 should have restriction guidelines for what they can and cannot view.
I think social media is a great way for kids to express themselves and learn more about the culture around them.
I think they should if their parents allow them to.
Should the government have the power to prevent children from using social media, or should it be up to the parents, and why?
Personally, I think it should be up to the parents, just because I feel like that's not really the government's place per se.
It's ultimately up to the parents to decide, or it should ultimately be up to the parents to decide, rather than the government setting blanket rules.
I think it should be up to the parents because they know their kids the best.
Should children be able to have access to platforms where they can exercise their First Amendment rights?
Yes, while I do not believe that children are typically focused on exercising those rights, I believe that every person should have that right.
I think yes, to a certain extent, because if they're on social media, they have the right to say anything they want to. But I think no, in the sense that people don't take kids seriously on social media.
Although social media can be harmful in certain situations, this bill would take away the right of parents to decide what is best for their children. Most social media platforms already have an age limit of 13, while this bill covers minors, or anyone under 18. Thus, at what age are you protected by the First Amendment? So, lots of questions raised by this vaguely written bill. I'm Alyssa Hildenbrandt reporting for Nightly News. Now back to you, Elijah.
Thanks, Alyssa. It's important to note that the Utah State Legislature, Stewart's home state, is also considering a similar bill. We'll keep following this story and keep you updated.